Hey guys, welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I am working on my save file again, and we will be making a residential house for a retired couple. So let's get started. So for my elderly retired couple, here we have the Patino family. So this is Joyce and this is Alberto, and they're a very nature-loving couple. They are retiring or they're about to retire in Willow Creek, and they just want to kind of enjoy the rest of their life without having to work anymore. So here we have Joyce. I'm actually going to have her set as the owner of the flower shop next to the bakery in the Willow Creek business strip that I made. So technically, I guess she isn't retired yet, but because she's not the owner of that retail lot anyways, I feel like she can retire at any time and she can start working on some of her life aspirations here, which is the freelance botanist. Some of her personality traits: she's very ambitious, she's creative, and she's also romantic. And for her outfits, I tried to choose kind of very floral accents. I guess just a lot of like greens in general. And for Alberto here, he has the angling ace aspiration, so he loves to fish. He is retired, so I'm not going to give him a job in my save file. He's just going to be unemployed. And I just feel like, you know, you guys can have a lot of fun with this family, especially if you want to do a lot of that nature stuff, gardening or fishing. They do have a son, so this is him right here. I'm probably going to be putting him in a different world, so he's not going to be in Willow Creek, but he's going to have his own family, and in my save file they're going to have that pre-made relationship, just like with the Anderson and the Wilkins family. So let's get started on building their house. So I am building on this giant lot here in Willow Creek, and I decided to give the Patino family one of the larger lots, even though it's just the two of them, because they are a nature-loving couple, so I feel like they would really appreciate all this space, especially outdoor space. For example, with Joyce's gardening and Alberto's fishing hobbies, I just feel like they would like to have like a bigger backyard to do those types of activities and things like that. I also decided to give them a really big house, even though it's just the two of them living here. I was thinking, you know, they are empty nesters, so this used to be filled with their children, and now I guess it's kind of empty and they don't really know what to do with all this space anymore. So if you decide to move in another family into this house, it can definitely fit 8 Sims, I think, easily. You can have large extended families here, and you can just definitely use a lot of this space to have a bigger family. When I was looking for reference photos, I wanted a countryside type of feel. I'm thinking that this neighborhood is like the older suburbs of Willow Creek, so an older style of home might be more prevalent in this neighborhood. I also gave them this kind of like outhouse shed. It's like a guest house that's connected by that balcony there. So you can definitely also turn that into a guest room, or for your large extended family, maybe the grandparents live in this separated building and then the nuclear family lives in the big house. I don't know, it's up to you guys. But how I have it set up right now is that that detached guest house building is going to be Joyce's flower studio or workspace. Basically, I guess, where she can go to store some of her plants and work on her flower arranging skills. I'm thinking maybe that is where she mostly worked out of before she started to own her own flower shop. And now that she's retired, she can still have that space to work on that as well. And you can also even decorate that with Alberto's fishing things, like the fish that he's caught and stuff like that. So lots of different ways to use that extra building over here. But yeah, just adding all the windows, finalizing the floor plan. So I decided that for the ground floor, it's going to have the master bedroom, and then the upstairs, which is not very big, will be where I guess the children's room used to be. So that is going to be now empty. I'm not really going to decorate it that much since their children are supposedly moved out already. And then I'm just giving them a really big backyard, lots of space for gardening. I'm gonna add a lot of those items to work on those skill sets. And I'm also going to be, I guess, working a bit harder on the landscaping. So I'm adding like fencing for all of the flower beds, and I'm just trying to use a variety of different plants and colors to make it look very vibrant. Yeah, this is definitely a really big lot, and it can be hard to, I guess, fill it up with different items, but I think for this couple, it's perfect for them to have so much green space. So now starting to decorate with the landscaping. Again, I'm trying to use different colors, different types of plants, and I tried not to use a lot of the debug items because they're really big in terms of like the landscaping items, and I just wanted it to be nice and simple in this neighborhood so that you guys can also like grow stuff in the backyards and in the front yards and anything like that. For a lot of the houses in this neighborhood, I tried not to make it an open floor concept. I tried to give it like lots of rooms and hallways and like foyers and things like that. I feel like older houses are kind of like that. There are lots of rooms and hallways and things you have to go through, and you don't just like see everything in one shared common space. So that's the kind of look that I was going for. And the overall color palette for this house is a lot of earthy tones, so lots of browns, predominantly brown, and some kind of like, I don't want to say orange, but it's kind of like orange, like a beigey cream color, I guess. I also chose green wallpaper just because I feel like it matches Joyce's love for nature a lot and gardening. And then I also used a mixture of yellow just for like a happy grandparents type of vibe. So this here is their kitchen, which also is very brown in terms of the color palette. I kept the kitchen pretty simple. I didn't clutter it too much, but I did try to add lots of plants also throughout the interior of the house just to showcase the love of nature that this couple has. So I use a lot of green items, I use a lot of plants and for decor, and just kind of like more countryside looking items because this is supposed to be a countryside home. So lots of wooden furniture, kind of older looking furniture as well. And that's the kind of overall look and feel that I was going for the interior. So there's a little breakfast nook on the left there, and then this is the laundry room. I actually did use a lot of items from the laundry pack, now that I think about it, for this house, because I think a lot of the items from that pack have that countryside look, and that's why I ended up using it. This room is going to be the dining room, and I have like a giant farmer's table here. I feel like maybe sometimes Joyce and Alberto, they feel a little sad because the house used to be full of energy and kids, and now it's just the two of them. So I did add in their description that they're hoping that their grandchildren visit more. I'm planning on having, I guess, their grandchildren live in a different world, so maybe it's just harder for them to visit that often. I haven't really thought too far about that yet, but here you can see I'm trying to add a lot of different plant items again. You will still see me looking through the debug items just for some variety because I don't have all the packs still, so I don't have all the possible choices for landscaping and plants and I guess just things like that. So yeah, this counter is like cluttered with different flowers, books about flower arrangements, cards with flowers on them, and I also added a bunch of the starter seeds packs right here, so you would not have to purchase them if you download this house and start using it. Choosing a lot of the green curtains. I think these are from the Cats and Dogs expansion pack. Again, I chose them because they have that countryside look to it. Here is kind of like the foyer, so I added a little bench, some flowers, and then that double door there is actually going to lead to the master bedroom. Aside from that, this middle space is going to be the living room. So I added an old school fireplace. I added this giant sofa. This is from the Dogs expansion pack as well. I feel like it really suits like an elderly couple's home, like grandma's sofa and things like that. Added an older TV. I feel like they don't watch TV that much because they like to be outside and doing things. So I didn't add a lot of, I guess, expensive or new technology items. Here we have the master bedroom. I have the double closets there. There's nothing in them, but I do include a dresser here so your Sims can still change their outfits and things like that, no problem. Really like this bed. I think it really suits Joyce. It really matches the whole sunflower theme, which I also think of grandmas when I see sunflowers sometimes. This is their ensuite, so their main bathroom. Give them the bathtub. Again, pretty neat, pretty simple. I tried to choose more like wooden furnitures, anything brown. I tried to include that, as well as that green bath mat. Here I added the chess table for an activity, and I think that's pretty much it for the ground floor, aside from just some more decor items. And then moving on to this little workshop here. So I added a bunch of different plants, kind of like bigger plants that didn't really fit in the main house. I squeezed them all in here. I also added the flower arrangement table so that she could work on her flower arranging skills. And again, you can always like extend this building, make it bigger if you need to fit more items. Or if you want to add a bathroom in here and you're gonna have someone live in this as a separate guest house. Right now I have it set up as just Joyce's workspace. Upstairs here we have a shared bathroom. I didn't really decorate this one too much because the second floor is supposed to be relatively unused, and if their grandchildren do visit, I guess they would be staying upstairs, so that's how they have it set up for right now. Decorating the fireplace. It was kind of hard to decorate this fire shelf here right above the fireplace. It was just hard to find items that would fit, I guess, without using any mods and things like that. So here we have, I guess, a guest bedroom for the parents if they come to visit with a double bed. I put a desk in there. I didn't put a computer, so I don't think there is really any computer in this house at all. So any Sims living here, they wouldn't be able to gain any of the video game skills or do any computer activities. But you can definitely include it and just put it on the table there. I just left it blank. And then the other room is more for the kids, so I just left it as kind of 2 single beds and a dresser, and I did include a toy box, so there's some toys in there for the kids to play with. Aside from that, just finishing up with some minor decor and then moving on to the backyard. So here I'm adding a lot of potted spaces for gardening and things like that. I also added another flower bed in both corners here, so this is just gonna be landscaping, and it's pretty similar to the landscaping that's on the front of the house. I also decided to add some, I guess, laundry item packs, so all of the houses in this neighborhood will have this outdoor drying line as well as that bucket, because not every house in this neighborhood has a washer and dryer actually. So if your Sims want to do laundry, they'll have to do it manually, like the old-fashioned way with the bucket, rinse it and dry it on the clothing line. So this is pretty much it for their house. Giant countryside home. Definitely, I think I built it for an elderly couple, but you can definitely modify it to fit your family or any other Sims that you want to include. And if you want to download just this house, it is now available up on my gallery. So you can download it and start playing, or you can wait for my Sims save file and you can play it all together with the Patino family. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave your comments below and any ideas on what I should build next in the comments. Toodles!